about how Daytona has evolved over the years. We'll show you highlights from the Lights qualifying sessions. We've got the Lights main event and the Supercross main event. And joining us in the booth for our call of the main events tonight will be five-time Daytona winner and the man who helped design tonight's racetrack, Ricky Carmichael. And with her water wings on, here's our Aaron Bates with a Progressive pre-race report.
Well, guys, when you think Daytona Beach, Florida, you're thinking sunshine, palm trees, and the beach. Well, the beach has been brought into the infield of the Daytona International Speedway in order to build this track. But unfortunately, Mother Nature has followed us once again, and she has struck down upon us. Take a look. The riders only got one practice this afternoon before torrential downpours started to come down. It came down so bad, in fact, that they had to cancel second practice. These guys only had an abbreviated time to dial in this track, and it's going to be a difficult one. The mechanics are vigorously trying to prepare those bikes and get them ready for these conditions, but no matter how you slice it, tonight is going to be a messy one, and only the strongest are going to survive. Guys?
Oh, without question, Aaron. It's an absolute mess out there tonight, but it's going to be fun to watch from this nice dry spot that you and I are in, Jeff. You see the riders getting ready for Supercross heat number 1. Let's take a look at the Kawasaki track map.
Well, the interesting thing about the track here is that, it's got a great start. There's a great design that Mark Barnett and Ricky Carmichael put together, but unfortunately, in between all of these jumps is huge water holes, and in the sandy sections, the inside ruts out of turns are going to be bottomless, so it's going to be really important for the riders to keep an eye on the track and remember bad spots so that they don't hit it next lap.
And those are going to change continuously throughout the night as the 30-second board is up. Here is our starting grid scrolling across the top of your screen. This will be a 6-lap heat race for the Supercross class from Daytona. Floundering through the mud and the muck that makes up the initial sections of this racetrack as you take a look at the 63 bike of Dusty Clapp. Now, Charles Summey and Chad Reed, no, it wasn't Chad, it was Charles Summey for sure, who got stuck when the gate dropped, looking at a trip to the last chance qualifier already.
And Dusty Clapp out of Canada, he's raced plenty of motocross, national motocross races north of the border that have been extremely wet and muddy, and he's off to a great start here, and I'm telling you, the whole shot is going to be so important. You can see his front number plate is still clean. If he leads this race, there's a pretty good chance that when he crosses the finish line, if he wins it, when he crosses the finish line, the front of his bike and everything will be clean. The rest of the riders, brown already. We don't even have a quarter of a lap in.
Figuring out who's who and where's who is going to be a challenge tonight. That's Davey Millsaps on the outside.
And that's Balbi in second.
That's Tyler Bright on the 709.
Whoa, and that was a bit of a rough ride he took. Almost got bounced off the bike as he took that position from Balbi. Now the inside right here.
Oh, Clatt stuck. Dusty Clatt is stuck to the right there. He was our leader. And another rider just went down.
Millsaps.
That's Davey Millsaps. And Balbi got through.
And take a look. This is the line right here that Clatt was in.
And he's still not going anywhere, Jeff. He has sunk that thing all the way up to the rear fender.
He won't go anywhere until somebody helps him get the bike out.
They're going to need a crane to get that thing out of there.
And that's what I was talking about, how the lines will change. And riders have to remember, the riders that passed Clatt, they say, okay, that line on that right-hander next lap around, I don't take that line.
So Tyler Bright out of Lexington, North Carolina, leads it right now on his Honda, bike number 709.
Take a look at the replay. This is Clatt with the hole shot, with the lead on such an important night. Bike gets stuck in that rut, and I'm telling you, it's bottomless. That rut will not recover. It's done for the night.
Bright out front now. And remember, Jeff, that San Francisco earlier this year was probably the muddiest race we've had a change for the lead in mid-flight. That's an aggressive move in mid-flight. That's Balbi flying past to take the lead.
And Balbi has worked his way up to the front here. He started about fourth and just seems to be unfazed. And we talked about it a lot, Ralph. that my feelings are mud races like this is it's all about the attitude and wanting to go out and have fun and taking the pressure off of yourself for the finish or the points.
Kevin Windham runs in third. And we've already talked about Kevin's prowess in mud races, having won back in Anaheim in 2005, and which was another torrential night of rain.
Yeah, it was terrible. And what has to happen is you see Kevin Windham reaching into this left hand, pulling the roll-offs. There's a clear strip that rolls across, and he's going to have 50 or 60 pulls on that. But your inner child just has to come out on a night like tonight.
He went flying past Bright to take over second place, did Windham. Now he's going after Antonio Balbi.
Look at how the riders really have to tiptoe through. Windham pulling his roll-offs one more time, regrouping after that pass.
This section over here, Jeff, is actually not so bad.
It's not so bad because that's the clay and that's the high spots. But on the inside of this turn here, where Balbi just went through, there's an inside line there that's as deep, if not deeper, than the one that Klatt got stuck in.
Look at that through there. That's Balbi. Now let's go back and show you how Windham made that mid-flight pass.
Now watch Windham right here. On the left of your screen, comes up the left side of the finish line and just absolutely nails it. Hammers the throttle on that Honda 450 and clears it.
And of course, in dry conditions, everybody would have been doing that. Windham trying to run down Antonio Balbi. We're coming back to Daytona for more. Welcome back to Daytona. Watch this. Here's Davey Millsap skidding around Eric Sorby, and that was for fourth. Top 9 will transfer straight to the main event out of this heat race. This is heat number 1 for the Supercross class, and Antonio Balbi continues to lead on his number 55 with Kevin Windham sitting in third, or second, I should say, with Bright still in third.
And Balbi putting in such an awesome ride. He really has been unfazed by any other riders or even the track. He's making great line choices. He's not getting stuck in any ruts, but watch how deep it is right here. He has to power through that water hole. Lost his balance there a little bit, but you see him trying to move out to the outside, use the outside berm. Now right through here is some serious water, and you're conscious of that. You know better than to go through those deep water holes, but sometimes you just have to do it. Windham right now is really starting to put the pressure on.
Jeff, what type of skill is required to be fast in the mud, or is it just natural ability?
Well, I definitely think that there's a certain balance that you have to have on the bike. And look at Windham really closing it up. You just really have to keep your feet on the pegs. You don't want to be sitting on the seat with your feet out. You want to stand up and balance the bike, and it takes a lot of extra work, but you can really carry momentum that way. And on a night like tonight, you want to try to complete as many obstacles. See how Windham did a little double-double there? Off of that, these little things, if you can keep completing the track sections like it's normal, you're going to have faster lap time.
Problems now for the 118 at Davey Millsap, a winner on the tour earlier this year. Oh, and he gets taken out by one of those deep sections of water.
Yeah, he just plowed in there, and it just took his front wheel and pulled it off to the right.
White flag is out for Antonio Balbi. He's one lap away from winning this heat, and laps take a while here tonight. The fastest one by Balbi, a 1:39.295.
And this can be, if Balbi wins this will be the biggest win of his career, because he has just put in a fantastic ride. He's gotten better as the races have gone on this year with his Supercross riding. Performs really well in the outdoor motocross, and it's showing because he has those type of skills that are really playing a part here tonight.
Balbi won the last chance qualifier a week ago up in Indianapolis. He was like first to win it.
So he's won the LCQ. He's on his way to win the heat. Next step's the main event.
Well, and if you remember at San Francisco earlier this year, Jacob Marsack finished one spot out of a podium position in San Francisco. So there's no telling who might end up not only on the podium, but at the top step of the podium tonight.
Here goes Windham. He completes that double. He is close with Balbi. Balbi's going to feel that, and here Windham behind him. He needs to not make any mistakes here in these following sections.
At the same time, Kevin doesn't want to push too hard and make a mistake and throw away a quick transfer to the main event.
Yeah, for Kevin Windham, who set second in the championship points, right now it's about getting in the main event, not necessarily winning this thing, but
somebody else
turns left where you can see that's like the Blackwater 100 going through there.
It is. This is more like a GNCC, a Grand National cross-country event. Here comes Windham. He's actually putting on more pressure, but Balbi's going to take the win. And then maybe crash. But at that point, it's safe. He's going straight to the main with a heat race win. Kevin Windham will go with him as the top 9 riders will transfer straight to the main. We'll be right back to the Daytona International Speedway after this. Wanted to win at Daytona, but some of the names you think might have really didn't, including Mark Barnett, Jeff.
Mark Barnett, so strong, so physical of a rider. Ken Howerton, National Motocross Champion.
Look at those tracks back then. How about Wardy?
Jeff Ward has won everything there is to win in our sport except Daytona.
More than once. And The Rock, Michael Rocco, never pulled it off.
Definitely one of the toughest riders ever to throw a leg over a bike.
A guy that might be hoping to do it tonight, Kevin Windham, has been 0 for 8 here at Daytona.
But Kevin Windham still has an opportunity. That's what he has going for him.
And we are back inside the World Center of Racing, and you can see the rain is pelting the fans once again who have come out to watch the Daytona Supercross by Honda. And boy, a big tip of the visor to them for weathering the storm, if you will, because it is coming down here in Daytona. These top 9 riders that you see are all going on to the main down to McWay. Jeff Gibson is not. Now remember, Charles Summey got stuck when the gate dropped. He battled his way through to 6th for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team, and he's taking his Yamaha straight to the main. You know, Aaron, a lot of times the fans will beg riders for their jersey. I bet this is one night they don't want the jersey of Antonio Balbi.
That's for sure, but rain or shine, nothing is going to be taking the smile off Antonio's face. Antonio, this is the first time you've ever won a heat race, but you feel as though you've almost won the main.
Oh, for sure, it's a big accomplishment for me. I'm so happy and so glad to be here. First of all, I want to thank God to let me have that opportunity. You know, I'm so happy.
These guys, it's grueling out there tonight. Battle of the fittest, and survival is going to be the key, right?
For sure, it's a tough track, and we have a mud. It's kind of similar to what I race in Brazil, you know, and I just got a good start, and I got by K-Dub, but I couldn't believe. I'm so happy. But it's just to be here, it's been hard for me. My plane got stuck in Texas, and if it wasn't for Rick Johnson and Mitch Payton, they had a private jet and give me a ride here, and that's why I'm here. I can't thank those guys enough, and thank God, and for sure my team. Hooters, Tamer Motor, Triple X, they've been awesome for me this year. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good luck in the main event.
Even through all that mud, the smile of a Daytona winner shines bright here at the World Center of Racing. Tomorrow on Speed is one of the most prestigious motorcycle road races in the United States, the 67th Daytona 200. Last year, Steve Rapp was a surprise winner. Tune in and see if he can defend his crown. The Daytona 200, the season premiere for the AMA Formula Extreme Series. Tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Speed. And we are hoping for much drier conditions for the running of the Daytona 200 tomorrow.
Rain seems to be following us everywhere we go this season, guys.
Yes, it has. In fact, we've joked that the AMA really stands for American Moisture Association. All right, there's Chad Reed on the 22, and Jeff, he was all the way out there before. Here's our starting grid across the top of your screen.
Oh, Reed gets pinched off on the inside there. He probably started on the inside for security. Look at him, though.
And
Look at that.
Great, look
what
at that.
A move, man.
He's right to second, maybe to the
What a
lead.
move.
That's Carpenter.
And he got a good start in his heat race, didn't he, Paul Carpenter?
Paul Coleman Carpenter out there, second place.
Reed trying to stretch it out over a couple of river section jumps here, turning those doubles into flight time.
Wow, look at those guys can't even double the jumps. It's so bad.
Split pea soup, anyone?
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'd like to try a mud soup, maybe. Mud pie, if you will.
Definitely.
Look at Reed keeping that front end high.
Man.
Wow, look how. Whoa!
Oh, and he's going
my
off
gosh!
the track.
Holy cow! unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that.
And that's the thing about this is that the track, the lights riders in the race before this would have known that was there. This is their first time around here since the conditions have really got bad. There is so much rain still coming down right now.
That's Windham right there. Kevin Windham on the 14.
Tons of lightning outside also. Okay, so now it's set up. Chad Reed, the points leader, is out front. Kevin Windham sets second in points. He's the one that really is hoping to capitalize on something, this weather, changing something in the championship.
Well, look at Windham closing in on him.
And they have shortened this race. Oh, here he comes right around the outside. Windham.
Wow, look how much worse it is. Look how bad the conditions are compared to the last lap of the lights. Puddles are bigger, conditions are worse.
This race has gone from 20 to 15 to 10 laps in length. 12 laps, I should say.
And I'm telling you guys, both of these riders are extremely talented Supercross racers. Kevin Windham has never won here. He has that extra incentive to go out and get in the Daytona record books, get his name on the plaque. He sees Chad Reed up front. He's going to do everything he can in the next 11 laps to steal this win away from Chad Reed.
Windham is over 8, and we saw Reed making a hand gesture. It looked like about his goggles to the mechanics.
Yeah, and probably just telling his mechanics that he either needs new goggles. You know, Reed has such a big points lead. He just needs to be smart and maximize.
Oh, here he comes!
Windham!
Windham around the outside!
Oh, man!
He
cut him off. Oh, and he just gets
drenched.
I mean, when you are right behind somebody, you guys, I mean, when the guy in front of you goes from a puddle, just like...
And here's one of the worst sections right through here.
If you're wondering what all the smoke is, they lit off a bunch of fireworks just as the main got underway, and that's the smoke clearing the area.
Okay, you know what Kevin Windham's probably going to do now that he's just been doused by like 100 gallons of water, it feels like, is he's going to probably wait for either Chad to make a mistake or plan his pass to where he can't get splashed by water again. I mean, you get so close, you can't pass.
He definitely now at this point needs to work on his lines. Take a look at the replay here. Watch how bad Kevin Windham is getting splashed. And watch Chad Reed pulling his roll-offs there. And you see he pulled it 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Terrible.
Oh, he's off course again.
He's off course again.
And
still
Windham,
in the front, still in the lead. Wow.
This race has only been won one time by a true privateer. That was back in 1987. It was a day race, but another very muddy, wet, rainy day, and that was Rick Ryan.
Yeah, and it was a muddy day. It wasn't a wet day like this. What an incredible ride by Rick Ryan that day. People talk about that all the time.
Wow.
And by the way, speaking of that, Balbi, who won his heat race, sits in 3rd, and Ryan Dungey, who's not a privateer, but a rookie at this in the Supercross class, he's running in 4th.
I tell you what, Balbi, what a great story, man. The guy could barely get here, had to fly private when he got stuck in Dallas. He's having the ride of his career.
That was yesterday. They didn't get here till this morning, right?
He was very fortunate. They snowed out in Dallas. The airline snowed out, and the host of other factory teams hired a private jet. Balbi hitched the ride.
And he's having like a stream race. Oh, somebody going in the pits. Who's that? It's a Yamaha.
Into the mechanics area.
Maybe probably getting a fresh set of goggles. I don't really know what that do for you out here today.
I do not think that pulling in for goggles, just once you have to take them off, and you got to ride the rest of the race. The conditions are so bad.
There's Ryan Dungey right there.
Look at that water.
He's up to 3rd.
Ryan Dungey on podium spot right now. Seems like he would be a really good mud rider, real tall on the bike. Look how wet that is.
And guys, what a turn of events. Remember last year in the East Coast Lights race here, Dungey didn't qualify for this race.
Wow. You guys, look at that. I mean, right there, you want to keep your front end as high as you can. I know it's probably pretty hard, but I'm almost speechless.
And the reason is because when you plow the front wheel into those water holes, there's a better chance that the engine is going to suck a lot of water through the airbox. But
fight for 4th. That's Dusty Klatt on the 63 and Balbi on the 55. There he is in the red Honda.
Wow.
Oh, Chad Reed down. There goes Windham. Windham goes by. Reed gets it restarted.
Inside, try to make the pass back on him.
Don't make a mistake right now.
Biggest thing right here is Reedy can't get excited and fry his clutch out or do anything like that. No overheats bike. Look at, he's off the course there. I mean, when you
So
see him getting
difficult.
excited and revving his bike, you really can't do that. You got to be careful.
Kevin Windham 0 for 8 here at Daytona. Could this be the night? Remember, he won the last huge mud race in Anaheim in 2005.
And you can really see how Chad Reed has lifted his intensity.
Here's what happened to Reed.
Oh, he stalls the bike. Reedy stalls the bike.
And now Reed and Windham continuing to battle.
Oh, here we go. Reedy going to the outside. Oh, he gets stuck.
They're both stuck.
Windham is
Windham's
stuck.
done. He's stuck.
Oh, Kevin, so frustrating. How
Oh,
difficult.
man.
Stalled the bike also.
He can't get it going. He's sunken.
There he goes. He's got it back going, guys. He stalled the bike, got sucked into the deep conditions.
man.
Oh, now I know Ryan Dungey's getting him close.
Here goes Reed back in the front. But you've got to wonder, how long will it remain that way? We're coming back to Daytona. Chad Reed is off the bike again, the leader.
And the engine is off. He got the bike in neutral. He's trying to restart it. He dropped it in the
There's
water.
Windham.
It's Windham
There's
again. Look at him. Look.
He's going to come on
he
one
can't-
side.
He
Can
can't.
do
I
that?
don't know if he can do that.
He did not enter the track where he went off, and he took quite a bit of an advantage there.
Yeah,
That's going to be questionable.
That's a gray area right there.
It's a pretty brown area, too.
Yeah. Hey, look at, is that Ryan Dungey behind those guys?
Yes.
It could be.
Wow.
And
Wow.
now it is Dungey.
Wow. We got a three-way battle, you guys.
Remember, Dungey didn't even...
He's
stalled it.
Oh, he stalled.
Oh,
Come on.
Dungey, who didn't even make the lights race last year, sitting in third, but with a stalled bike. And the crowd, as small as it is here tonight, is very enthusiastic and going crazy over all of this.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, Ricky, it's one of those things where it's nice to be up here in the booth, but it's so much fun to be out there racing, battling like this.
Oh, yeah, this is a fun race. I tell you what, whoever wins this main event, it's got to be one of the best of their careers, if not the best in these conditions.
It is one of the slowest races I think I have ever seen, but one of the most drama-filled events of all time. Reed listed in the lead for now.
Wow, look
at
at those. I mean, I think you just hold on, gas it, and go. Feet off the pegs. Man, look at that. Reedy keeping it up.
Flopping through it.
Man, just going wide open, just hoping for the best.
Literally
It is
hoping for
so bad right now.
Jeff,
Dipping down.
Jeff, you describing this start as a jet ski race is a perfect example of what this really is.
Well, and watch Chad Reed here. He comes through, goes off the side of the track when he hits the water hole. And very far. I mean, he actually landed on that tough block, and the bike was stood up on there, so the bike did not tip over.
I don't.
And every little mistake like that Chad has, you know that Kevin Windham is back there somewhere. So you're going to try to limit the mistakes and keep your momentum going forward.
Looks like he's lost his goggles too, guys.
Yeah, he's chunked them.
I think everybody has lost their goggles.
Yeah,
at this
it's
time.
really hard to keep them on when it's raining. You know, the rain gets in between your roll-offs, your tear-offs, and it gets in it.
How about the overall weight of your gear getting soaked?
You know, and you slide off the back, you can't hold on, your gloves are wet. I haven't seen a mud race this bad in a long time. I think the worst mud race I ever think I saw was 1991, maybe Sacramento. I mean, it was
Hangtown Motocross,
yeah.
and it was this wet. There was just so much. It's clay up there, and it was just a very wet race. But I'm telling you, I think this is the worst conditions that I've ever seen a motocross bike be ridden in.
It's got to be the hardest because there's so many jumps and obstacles.
Well, with your track design, I'm not saying that it was particularly you, but the track design has just made it go from like lake to lake to lake to lake down the.
I knew that was going to be. I thought that was going to be a problem if it rained.
I'm guessing the two of you are thinking right about now this is a really good time to be retired.
Oh, I tell you what, it's fun if you're out front, like 20 seconds in the lead. But if you're
Seven?
Ryan Dungey or Kevin Windham's position right now, I think myself and Jeff's position's looking pretty good at
Guys,
the moment.
we're only halfway through this, and not only the riders take a pounding out here, but those motorcycles have got to be feeling the wear and tear of this event as well.
Look at Reed. I mean, he's just cruising. It's so, the conditions are so gnarly, the guy can like barely charge it all, you know? Is that Windham there? No. I think
No.
That's a lapper. Yeah, that's a lapper.
But
Nick Way. That was Nick Way there.
Where is Windham?
There's Kevin coming through there. He's got rid of his goggles.
And see what Kevin Windham was doing through that section? He's still doubling. He's on the pegs. Classic Kevin Windham riding style. He's trying to stand up on the bike and balance it. That's really where his advantage is right now.
Very nice to watch ride. I mean, I really like to watch a guy that's got great style.
Well, and we've spent so much time with Kevin Windham this year as he's had so much success. He says he's had a great time racing, and in this situation, pressure's off, but halfway through this race, he still wants to win this thing. He realizes this is a huge opportunity, and whoever wins this is going to go down as just this classic Daytona mud race.
Yeah, at this point, I think, you know, Kevin's lost a little bit of ground. I believe that he's just going to bide his time and maybe hope for a mistake. But look at Millsaps there coming up through. He's now in the third position.
Well, it has been both of the Honda riders, Windham and Millsaps, have really pressured Chad Reed. And it is so difficult out there.
And those two riders, a big part of Honda's resurgence in Supercross this year, as Millsaps took the win in Atlanta, and it was just a week before that the Windham won in Houston.
Ricky, tell me, I've never ridden for Team Honda. You did. Coming into this event, Honda being the title sponsor.
Kevin Windham's pulling in for goggles.
Going for goggles.
Oh, man. I don't know about that call, Jeff.
It is definitely questionable. I would agree with you, Ricky. But evidently, something has happened. He said, okay, look, I think I can make up some time if I can see. So we'll see just how long those goggles last. We'll keep a real eye on it.
He was about 13 seconds behind Reed, and he had about an 8-second gap between him and Millsap.
And that was at the stripe just before he pulled into the mechanics area.
There's Millsaps there.
So what I was saying, Ricky, is how important is it?
Down goes Davey Millsaps.
Look at that deep hole. You just go there and you don't even know.
And here comes Windham.
The new goggles paying off for him.
And Ricky, what I keep trying to tell you is these guys are trying to make the pass for one of these riders to win the event that's sponsored by Honda.
Got it.
It's huge.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, obviously it is. You know, it's a Honda-sponsored event. It is the Daytona Honda Supercross. But it's big for every manufacturer. It really is. I mean, this is the crown jewel of the series. If you can't win the title, you have got to try to win Daytona Supercross.
Yeah, but any pressure specifically on the Red Riders here?
Possibly so.
Well, the lap times are up to 2 minutes.
Wow.
30 seconds faster than the heats. Longer.
Windham just plowing through it.
I mean, I cannot. Would you like to go out and ride a couple laps, Jeff?
Hey, if somebody was going to watch the bike.
Now, when would we have known if the AMA is going to have a thought on Chad Reed going on course like that? Because it could be Kevin Windham who just retook the lead from Davey Millsap. There is Chad Reed. And we know Chad Reed is committed to racing here tonight, as are all the riders who lined up in the gate. But how about the greatest fans in the world, these Supercross fans, sticking it out here in the downpour at Daytona. A great crowd on hand, taking in the Daytona Supercross by Honda. Chad Reed continues to lead here at the Daytona Supercross by Honda. Working our way past the halfway point.
And has really been the Iron Man here tonight. He has put on an awesome ride. He's crashed, he's had problems, and he keeps going, keeps moving forward. Just an incredible ride with only 4 to go now.
Well, that's why he's been a Supercross champion before. He's a fighter. I got to give it to the guy, man. He never lays down, and look, he stalled it and fell down. Look at that.
Look at his face in there, Ricky.
I mean, that is just grit and
so much focus in an environment where it is so hard to focus. And you see the extra thing on his visor right here, that's actually lengthened out so that he can duck his head when he's getting roost from another rider and still see forward. So just a slight tip of the helmet will stop all of the mud and water from coming into your eyes.
You know, another thing too, he don't have hand guards. So his hands are getting extra wet.
Yeah, but on a night like tonight, it just gets washed off. Watch right through this section right here. It's extremely deep. Right?
Oh, man. We've seen so many people crash there.
Well, look who might be joining you here, Ricky. And Chad Reed can hang on and win here tonight.
Hey, he's much well-deserved it. There's no doubt about it, especially in this condition. I mean, this has got to, if he wins tonight, this has got to be one of the best Supercross wins of his career.
And he's chasing his second Supercross championship this year, leading the points, and this would be huge for him tonight if he can win and get those extra points over Kevin Windham.
Absolutely. Cushion that points lead a little bit more and get into some dry dirt next weekend.
Now, we have heard from the AMA that there will not be, at this point, there's been no decision made on Chad Reed.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're talking about the incident when he fell down and then he got back up and kind of downside. That
look at that bike. What I think in this situation, you just try to pick the bike up. I don't know if that's Travis Preston or who.
Have you ever seen Cadillac Ranch in Texas?
Yeah,
it was like Cowie Ranch.
Yeah, I would say this is is that a green bike? It's all brown.
Somewhere in there, there's some green.
Well, I'm colorblind, so
that might be Jeff Gibson. I think this guy, he needs to go back to the truck.
Hey, but that's a huge photo op. What he needs to do is clear the sponsor logos off of his deal, because that photo is going to get shown everywhere. Okay?
That might be here tomorrow when we go green for the 67th running of the Daytona 200.
I mean, look at Reedy's still out there charging along. He's going all over the place, but everybody is at this position.
And the Yamaha guys, they got their fingers crossed right now that engine keeps on pumping.
He's smoking too. I mean, he's got smoke.
Ricky, one of the things we've always talked about with Chad Reed is how gritty of a rider he is. He rides through injured. Look at this. They're going to bury this thing.
This guy, he's just having fun with it now, I think.
This is incredible. You see the back tires over here a little bit.
He's trying to get some help from the crowd.
I can honestly say that in all of my years of racing, and Ricky, we could probably stack all of your years on, that I've never had to stand on top of my bike.
I've never had to do that. I can say, I agree with you. Oh, here's that deep hole. Here's that deep hole. Wow.
Look at that.
If he only knew how many people we have seen up here go down in that hole and take that line that he just took, he'd be going outside.
And it is so soupy out there, like Ricky was talking about earlier, that it's not deep mud, but it's soupy. The problem is that there's these huge ruts. When you go into the water, it's all flat on top, and there's ruts going every direction underneath. That's what makes it extremely tricky, and you never know if you're going to drop into one of those deep ruts. So really this memory on that Chad Reed is remembering where the bad lines on the track
and you can see you see he just jumped over that. What he's trying to do is eliminate going in the puddles. Going in the puddles is very bad. You suck in water.
Aaron, how are you doing down there?
We are surviving, but speaking of surviving, normally you will see a mechanic pulled over the pit board saying breathe, how many seconds they are in front of somebody or behind somebody, but tonight the mechanics are standing back. They are just as dirty as these riders are out here, and the only thing that any of them seem to be writing on their pit boards is stay up and make sure to survive.
There you see the mechanics area. Even those guys getting sloshed.
Wow.
Sprayed down there.
You know, these are the unsung heroes because they're going to have to clean up this mess afterwards.
Ricky, on a night like tonight, how many riding gear sets would you go through?
Well, you go through one set of gear each practice. Obviously, they only practice once tonight. You wear a new set in the heat race and a new set in the main event. Plus, the sponsors like it. You got to go out looking good. You know what I mean? They want to show off their best gear. And
but I tell you what, you win the race tonight. I think this is one of those jerseys that you don't give away. You let it dry up. You don't wash it. You just let it dry up. You frame it.
Coleman is in the puddle. Look how deep it is, you guys. I mean, that is crazy.
There's not much to say about that.
And so that was up to the front axle.
Look at this, you guys. Look at this. I mean, you have to laugh.
How about our speed camera crew down there getting that shot for you, too? Nice job.
Well, look at Reedy just coming through there, keeping his front end high. Don't want to dip it down in there. And he's just got it under control.
Less than 2 laps to go. Chad Reed on his way to joining the ranks of the Daytona winners that have won 3 main events.
Wow, he's earned his win. You know, regardless of how he passed Kevin and this and that, and if somebody wants to play stuff, you know, more than likely he would have been okay. You know, he's had a good chance of taking this. Going by the way he's riding right now, you know.
Without question, he's turned the fastest lap here tonight.
Man.
At a 151.
Yeah, and the last lap.
Amazing.
The last lap was a 2:06.
Just to give you an idea, and Trey Kennard and Ryan Villapoto were in the 33s, 31s, 32s, something like that.
Look at how he's putting Windham away here in the closing laps of this race. 13-second gap on lap 6, 62-second gap on lap 10. White flag is out.
That was the first lap he did that, I think.
Actually, I think the white flag is more beige by now. 1 to go for Chad Reed. He came to this race as a series points leader.
The boost track coming on down there. One more lap, one more time by the mechanics area. His mechanic is probably so nervous right now, just sweating it, hoping please make it.
It's made it this long. Please just make it 1 more lap. Chad Reed will grab another Daytona win.
Here's that point where we were talking about where Reed got going again.
Yeah.
And he cut down the grass, okay? You have to enter the track in a safe place. It appeared that there was room in between the top blocks there. Chad chose to go down the inside. The AMA at this point has ruled on it.
Yeah, or if you're going to come in on a safe place, you cannot make a pass, gain a position. He didn't gain a position when he was off the track. He got back on the track. He was side by side.
If not behind, yeah. So that's It's not our call.
No, it's not our call. Regardless, he's running a stellar race. I mean, it's his.
For Yamaha, it will be their 8th win here at Daytona. The last one coming in 2005 for Chad Reed, who is already 3rd all-time on the career wins list. It will be his 33rd Supercross victory.
And look at the tailpipe on Chad's bike.
It's not over yet.
No.
The clutch is gone.
No. Is this?
No.
2 turns to go.
Chad Reed's bike going up in smoke.
No way.
Where's Windham, who is 0 for 8 at Daytona?
No, he is.
Kevin Windham was a minute 6 behind.
Look at the frustration.
He's done.
Look at the frustration.
I cannot believe my eyes.
He's trying to kick this bike started.
His bike is not going to crank, you guys.
What can he do, Ricky?
He cannot do anything. Doesn't look like it has much compression. You see how easy he's kicking that bike.
That's Windham coming up over the...
Here comes Windham right here.
Here's Windham right here.
Gosh, talk about this. I cannot believe this
He's
is
not going to believe what he sees.
No, I don't. He probably don't even... Oh, he's looking. He's looking. I cannot believe my eyes.
Chad Reed was just 2 corners away.
Oh, look at he's mad at his
mechanic. Can't believe it.
Oh,
and there's nothing he can do.
No. I mean,
Reed just sits there.
I feel so bad for him. Here's Kevin Windham right here.
Here comes Kevin Windham.
Does he even know? Does he even know?
There he goes. Kevin Windham just passed him.
Does he know he's winning?
He's on his way to his first Daytona Supercross by Honda win. He was 0 for 8, and now he's about to win Daytona.
Kevin has to know something is going on because the crowd is going absolutely ballistic.
He can see Reed right there in the corner.
But will his bike make it?
Yeah. He's got to get to the checkered flag.
I would find a way to push it from here. Is he going to do it?
Kevin Windham's going to win the Daytona Supercross by Honda.
The battle of attrition.
One of the most incredible finishes in the history of Supercross as Kevin Windham sloshes his way to victory. And at the same time, the agony of the defeat for Chad Reed, who put on such a gritty performance here, and instead, the smile through all the mud is going to be electric for Kevin Windham. That's Daytona. Chad Reed.
Ooh.
That is the longest walk you will ever see.
Man,
So disappointing with 3 turns to go. The bike gives out on him after that epic battle that he put on.
Look at the
Words
face. You can
cannot
see it in the
describe
eyes,
that.
can't you?
Disappointment.
words cannot.
Ugh.
That is so devastating, man.
His bike still sits
Gosh.
out there in the middle of the racetrack, and Reed
Not
making
even
the long
his fault.
walk. There's Preston's bike getting pulled out. And let's go down to Aaron Bates, who's with a winner Aaron 3 corners away from the finish, did not expect to see.
Well, guys, Kevin Windham, he's never won here in Daytona, but at 30 years old, he pulls it around, and you do just that. Kevin, when you came around the corner and you saw Chad down, were you completely surprised?
I tell you what, I saw the 22 stalled out in a puddle of water, man, and I'd never been so happy. This Daytona dirt's never tasted so good in my mouth. It was a brutal race. I got stuck once, stalled it once, and man, just so wet and so nasty, and man, just kept my head down, kept plugging away, and I was glad to make it. It was a truly treacherous course tonight.
2 wins for Kevin Windham already this season. We'll see what's in store coming up.
And if you're into numbers, Kevin Windham's 14th career win comes at Daytona, matching his number plate. Here's the points now, guys. 24 separating Windham and Chad Reed.
Anything
Chad
can
Reed
happen.
6th. Yeah, that Windham picked up some good points. He's been feathering it right around that one race of 25 points, but now he just dips under it.
As a racer, I mean, you get on that 25. That's nice.
Aaron.
Well, guys, Davey Millsaps, he's wiping all the sand out of his eyes, and obviously it's a little bit painful. You're squinting out there, Davey. After you have to throw away your goggles at that point, what is it that's going through your mind?
Well, I don't know. I threw them out halfway, and I wasn't feeling it. I had to turn my head every corner, and it was a good race, though. It was fun, and it was one to definitely get on the podium for.
Hey, all of the bad conditions that are taking place out here, what was the key to tonight to make it all a sweet success for you?
Just stay consistent and just survive. I was probably way back, and everyone went down, and then I just went into third. And unfortunately, Chad, something happened to his bike, but everyone else capitalized on that. It's a bummer, but it's part of racing.
Congratulations on the podium once again.
Well, now you can get the latest race results and news right on your phone with weekly green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Let's go back to Aaron.
Jacob Marsack, the man, the privateer. We've seen him take a 4th already this season, but making it onto the podium, what does this mean to you?
Man, it's just amazing. I didn't know what place I was in, and I just went out there and gave it 110%, just going through it. Went through like 2 pairs of goggles from Scott, and I just kept pulling in for goggles, and it just turned out right.
Great to see the underdog pull through.
Well, for the 3rd time, Honda sweeps Daytona. They did it 86-91 and 08, gentlemen.
Wow.
What'd you think, Ricky, of the track you designed, the race you produced?
It definitely was. It was a man's track.
That's the craziest. It's the craziest race that I've ever seen. Never seen a situation this way. Great job, Kevin Windham.
Well, it started raining about 3:45 this afternoon. It's still raining, and it provided one of the most unbelievable races we've ever seen. And of course, it happened here at Daytona. That's why this Supercross is such a legend. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emick and our pal Ricky Carmichael, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from the Daytona Supercross by Honda. And congratulations to first-time Daytona winner, Kevin Windham.